Hey guys, we're doing something different on the channel today. Mom and I are actually going to go watch a movie and give kind of our own little review on it. Figured mix some stuff up, have some fun with it. So we're actually going to go see the new Grinch movie. I believe it's actually just called How the Grinch Stole Christmas again.
I think it's just called The Grinch.
Oh, okay, sorry. This time it's just The Grinch. So just kind of preconceptions going into it. Me, first, I feel like the time to release is terrible. I feel like it's so early.
Why didn't they wait and release it the weekend of Thanksgiving? What a perfect thing for families.
I think some people do have like traditions to go out and watch movies on Thanksgiving.
That's what I mean. Well, yeah, movies release on Thursdays.
Okay, yeah, you could have done Thursday. This just feels like really early. Second off, I really like Tyler, the Creator. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a rap artist, kind of a little more out there, but him composing a Christmas movie, weird. We'll see how the music is. He composed all the music. He composed all the music, and he has a song. He's the one who sings the song.
Like the theme.
That goes, you're a nasty one. He does that, and I've heard it.
Maybe you play it for me on the car on the way there.
What are you thinking before we go?
I had already asked Andrew. I was like, I don't remember when the Grinch came out with Jim Carrey as the Grinch, but like, why?
That wasn't even the original one, actually. The original one was animated.
Oh, well, right.
So
which I can understand, taking an animation and turning it into a real life movie, but like, why do we need to remake the Jim Carrey movie? What was wrong with that one?
This one's another animated one though. This isn't.
Oh, this is a cartoon?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was going to see a cartoon. Because I seen something on Twitter, it was like one of those memes. Memes? Yeah. It said something like, as the Grinch is back in the theaters, Jim Carrey's sitting back at home wondering, you know, why the heck he went through all those hours of makeup so people could just remake this movie someday. Two, just the whole idea behind like, why are we remaking this movie? Like, why aren't we just making some other funny Christmas story instead? And what was your response?
Well, it's just, it's easy money. Classics, I mean, whether the movie right now, we know the movie's not actually getting the best reviews, but I guarantee a ton of people are still watching it, and a ton of people are still going to go watch
Families will go for sure.
I guarantee.
Especially if it's animated. Kids
my dad's side of the family will go see this. Oh yeah.
See, I know. Well, I don't know. KK usually likes the animated movies, but more like Toy Story. Did you ever come out with Toy Story 4?
Yeah. So
we're gonna head to the movies, and we will let you guys know what we think. We're home from seeing The Grinch, and what kind of rating system are we gonna do? Popcorn boxes?
No, we'll do it by Grinch. So, how many maxes? Which is the Grinch's dog?
I would, out of 5 or 10?
I like ratings out of 10.
Out of 10? Okay, I would give it a 8 out of 10.
You'd give it an 8? I'd give it a 6.8.
6.8?
Yeah.
That's very specific.
Yep.
Well, let's just start with overall. First of all, I'm glad it was actually a cartoon or animation versus a real movie like I thought it was until we left this morning.
I did think the animation was really good.
It was.
That was the strong point. And the big thing was the animation was really good, and there was always so much going on at once. Like when they were in actually Whoville, it wasn't just like the 6 people in the front moving. It was like people like putting lights up on houses, and there were stores opening, but then there was like people on top of the houses. Like it was very nuanced in its animation.
I think, I don't know, what is the date? We looked up the Grinch with Jim Carrey.
It was
from 2000. But what was the date, I wonder, of the original Grinch?
Probably 70s, I assume.
1966.
66.
That was before I was even born. Okay, here's what I think is great that they made a new Grinch movie. I feel like the old one is so dark. And like, I don't mean color, like dark.
Tone?
Yeah, it's pretty depressing.
I think that was one of the big negatives of this movie.
That it was too happy?
Yeah, there was no...
That's what I like about it.
What, are we So let's give our general and then we'll get into slight spoilers. We're not, I mean, everybody knows the Grinch, but the general thing, I think the animation was great. I thought the comedy in it was actually pretty good for, I mean, there was a ton of little kids in the theater. They were laughing, but then there was also scenes where we would laugh where the kids would not laugh because they obviously didn't get the joke.
But that's all movies, like Toy Story and stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they appealed to a wide audience pretty well. What are your kind of non-spoiler thoughts?
First of all, I did not like the Grinch's voice in the beginning. It really bothered me. I felt like it didn't fit the character. Yeah. It wasn't like mean enough.
It wasn't like raspy enough.
Yeah.
It was a little too nasally almost.
I could tell that I finally had looked it up in the middle of the movie that the guy who plays the Grinch's voice is, I don't know his real name, but he's the guy who plays Doctor Strange in the Marvel movies. Yeah. And after you look it up, well, I see you do the name. Once I looked it up, it's like, oh yeah, I recognize the voice, but you could tell he also altered his voice a little bit.
Definitely.
And I just didn't, I feel like that's one thing that they could have maybe done a little bit better. Yeah. It's way, what you were just saying, way more comedy than the original Grinch, which I liked a lot better. But the main point I brought up the old movie was I don't feel like the old movie can maintain a younger kid's like interest for all that long. Yeah. Because it's just so drab.
Well, this movie was long.
But yeah, it was 90 minutes, so it was a little bit longer. But I feel like it had always things happening. It never had a dull moment.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem I have, but I can't. Are we getting into spoilers now?
I guess we'll go ahead and say spoiler alert. We already shared our rating. Okay. You guys probably already know the story of the Grinch.
That's where I'm going to start my complaints. This was not like the Grinch story. They didn't mention anything about his heart growing.
Yeah, they did. No. They said it was only a third of the size.
They said it was only that, but then they missed the scene of his heart growing.
No, they did.
No, they did not have the scene of his heart growing.
They showed. They went doom, doom, doom.
No, that was not. In the actual movie itself is like this point of like, he turns and then he goes and brings back all of the gifts. That didn't happen until like, after like, the turn was like so random.
Oh,
he just like turned around and was like, "Oh, I should bring the presents back," instead of like,
what's her name? Little girl, Cindy Lou, who's adorable, by the way.
She was good, and her little gang of little kids were actually really
she's
fun.
got a group of friends, which is different than in the original movie, and they were all so funny, especially her best friend. Yeah, he's hilarious. He talked to her because she woke up and wanted to talk to Santa. And it affected him. He felt sad, so then he took all the gifts away and was about to push him over the mountain, just like in the original movie, and then he heard them singing, and he's like, why are they singing? They don't even have their presents or their trees. And then that's when it was like,
but then he got saved, and he was like, come on, we need to bring the presents back. There was none of like the narration of like, and the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yes, there was.
That was not when it happened. It happened at like the very end. Okay. The whole point of like his redemption story is his heart goes 3 sizes, and then he brings it back.
Yeah, I guess
then he brings it back, and at the very end, it's like, oh, now everything's okay.
That's true. They added a new character, which was really cute. I think little kids will love the new character.
What's his name? Greg, I think. Every time it was like the Grinch and Max, and when the other, I want to say his name's Greg, but whatever his name was, whenever they were together, I felt like the comedy was great. Whenever the little kids were together, the comedy was great. Whenever they like tried to do anything else, I was like, okay, this is really boring.
Really?
Yeah. It was definitely more futuristic too. Yeah. Like even the Who's themselves were using like
way more like current times type.
Right, they were using like technology and like...
There was a cell phone that looked just like an iPhone because it had that thing in the center.
They, like the way that the stores open was like press a button and the buildings would turn around.
That's what, at the beginning when they showed Whoville, I was like, oh, this is just like from the Horton Here's a Who. Because I recognized just all the way everything opens and closes and everything. So I really liked it. I think if you have kids any age really, I think even Karli would have enjoyed it.
Here's the thing.
With the cute little Max.
If you go and you want to think about it critically, I think you're gonna find it very easy to find problems with it. But if you go and think this is just another retelling of a classic story, it doesn't deviate much other than what I said with the fact that his like heart changes after you would already expect his heart to have changed.
I guess they just used it to end the story.
The most iconic song of the Grinch, Tyler the Creator, personally I think ruined.
Yeah, I didn't like any of
There was no like flow and I mean, I remember being a little kid and watching the high school kids come to the grade school and sing that. You're a nasty one, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah,
it was like,
his voice was not fitting for that kind of song.
No, he really put his own twist on it. It was not.
It was dark. He sang it dark. It actually would have been fitting more for the movie 1966.
It was grittier. I think if you're my age, which I know there are people that do this, if you're like a couple and you want to go see a movie, I think you're not going to have a fun time just sitting there watching something like that. If you're looking to go see a Christmas movie, I'm sure there's more like live action that would maybe be a little more appealing. I almost feel like you'd be better off going and watching like the replay of the older Christmas movies at the theater. If you're my age and you're looking for like a date night, I don't think the Grinch will be entertaining enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
kids, families, perfect for kids and families, but probably not teens. And like I don't think Blake would like take his group of friends and go see it.
No, I don't think so.
All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed our first movie review. We want to do more. I think next time we'll try to catch movies more like right when they first come out.
Like we said, final verdict. I thought it was okay. Mom thought it was pretty good.
I liked it.
Don't forget to comment if you've seen, what you think about the movie, or even what your first impressions just from watching something like trailers are.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.